Good evening. My name is Jay, or some people know me on the streets as Shadow. I just came from a meeting tonight that was kind of uplifting, but it didn't start off uplifting. A friend of mine invited me to this center and wanted me to speak candidly to a group of people that was kind of, upper middle class to general middle class, you know what I'm saying, about ethics. And a lot of people asked me questions and it was emotional based, but the main form that I took in this conversation is that the main thing that we has as human beings, the main thing we have in common is the connection of love and despair. The thing that separates the common denominator is the action that is taken out of either love or disparity. That's the dividing factor that can separate people. You know what I'm saying? How do you choose to act? You know, I know of individuals that bury themselves in so much love that it blinds them that an individual is treating them very cruelly. They love so blindly that even the background people who are looking at the abuse going on is saying, hey, you don't see this? And I admire that person that loves blindly like that. Uh, but there's the other part of society that because of their pain, that they see only their pain. They don't see how they may be accidentally or purposely administering pain to others because they are in pain themselves. So we're talking about, saying knowing thyself and taking responsibility for thy action. Which in today's society, it is taught, especially in Washington State, that you have the right to do whatever you do without there being any form of responsibility or even any fear of, saying retribution coming to you because of the ill choice you made. It's just clearly stated and mandated, especially on campus of colleges, as being passed around, especially towards some very few liberal gay men, but mostly of the female society, that you do have the right to say and do whatever you want to do without there being any repercussions. But like anything in society, you have to be responsible for your actions. What you say, at least have the wisdom to know that should you say this at this time? And should you actually say this? You know what I'm saying? So you have to take the responsibility for the action, not just run with the freedom that I can do something without being responsible. It's like me going around saying, okay, I do have the right to say whatever I want to say. So if I'm driving around with my kids in the car, do I actually drive in a white neighborhood, which is predominantly infested with Klan members, and say, hey, fuck you whiteys and stuff like that with my kids in the car? Even though I have the right to say what I want to say, does that make me wise because I can say something? See, the true wisdom is, what do you choose to say? I can choose to say, hey, F everybody. But does that mean that I would reach everybody? Could I say F everybody? Or could I say in another way, look, some of y'all can be a little bit heartless, and let me talk to you how you can be meaningful instead of being heartless. That's different from saying, hey, fuck y'all because y'all cruel. You have to choose your words carefully. But just because you have the freedom to do something doesn't mean it's okay. And I got kind of a little bit static in the meeting because I did bring up one point. You know what I'm saying? One person says, hey, I'm saying, I'm a single mom. I raised my kids. And I feel that, I'm saying, nobody should be able to tell me nothing. And I said, well, didn't you apparently choose to have a kid? Which means that you did choose to lay down with a mate with the purpose intent of to create life. So if you're including someone else in the overall scheme that you have, then you should be responsible how the other person feels about your plot and plan. You know what I'm saying? If you in the audience, if I choose to say, hey, why don't you come with a drive with me? And you take me in your car and you drive me. But you drive me to a store and I go in and rob the store. Come back out and you're looking shocked like, what you do? So I included you in on my crime. Does that mean that I wasn't responsible for your best or well intentions? And at the same token, you can be formed guilty as me because even though you didn't plot the crime, you're still necessity, you know what I'm saying, to the crime. You're still associated with the crime itself. So not only do I have no intention of your well-being, but I included you in my misdeeds and bad intents. But does that mean that I'm okay because I thought that bad intent? It's okay that I think like that and jeopardize your freedom, your sanity, or your well-being for my ill intent and lost ways of thinking. See, I get tired of people saying that I can do and say whatever I want. No, you can't. You know what I'm saying? Because you drag other people with you. You know what I'm saying? Let me use one last example, which I told the crowd. I said, I understand that all of y'all, or most of y'all, are pretty much liberal in mind, correct? And they said, yes. And I said, okay, if I myself believe I can do and say whatever I want to say, then if I sit up here and said, hey, you, Captain such and such from the Seattle Police, I hate you because you have hurt my friend, that I want to kill you and your family. Now, he chooses to take offensive action. And he pushes me, and as he swings his billy club and I duck, he hits the person next to me, and that person dies from the impact of that billy club. Am I being held responsible by that person's family, by the city, and by the police department of the death of the individual because of what I chose to say? And the crowd was silent. And they did agree that yes, I will be held accountable. Then you don't really have the right to just say anything because what you say bears responsibility on it. And other people are affected by what you choose to say and do. And that's what creates our society in so many different categories as it's in, because a lot of people, because they have been betrayed by somebody, or they, you know what I'm saying, been mugged by somebody, you know what I'm saying, or they have been robbed, or they have lost ones, you know, they believe that out of their pain, they have the right to take that pain out on you, and that is not true. What they should do as human beings, if they're caring, is to say, hey, look, I'm in a painful, you know what I'm saying, transition right now. I would like to convey some of that pain to you if you're willing to accept it, and y'all come to a mutual understanding that I'm going to bring you some pain. Okay, I'm prepared for it. Give it to me. But society don't believe in that. They believe in blindsiding people. And these individuals that are lost out here walk around with the stupidity backed by other stupid people, believing that, oh, I have the right to do and say whatever I want. The funny part is that equation is true until they turn on the people that supporting them. You know. And I'll end that part, you know what I'm saying? But I was honored to go and speak tonight in Seattle with some people, you know what I'm saying, that was earthbound. And when I got done my 15-minute lecture with them, they was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So it was an honor to speak amongst these semi-nonchalant / middle class mixed with black and white individuals, basically just talking the truth. I'll send off with that one, and I'll talk again another time.